You're an idiot. I don't care if you like my music or not. There's a lot of people I don't like who I listen to their music and shit. And there's a lot of people I don't know that I listen to their music and shit. If I knew them, I probably wouldn't fucking like them. I listen to a lot of music. And there's no way I would be best friends with every fucking person that I listen to fucking music. Do you understand? Like, not trying to be like aggressive towards you, but like I am because I'm upset with you. But like, do you understand what I'm saying? Amongst all the anger. Like, you're such a fucking idiot. I'm not your friend. I make music and you like it. And if you don't, cool, great. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing it so that you like me. I'm doing it because it's fun. Now hop off my car, you Philistine piece of shit. No one cares. Bye. God.
Now my effort, I guess it's a two-way street. Maybe it's 50-50, right? I work my ass off, y'all buy tickets. I make music, y'all shake ass. But we don't have to be friends, bitch. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I want you to know that. I'm gonna solidify that right now. I am not your friend, and I am not your mentor. No, I can't stress that enough. Why do you think I don't go on Twitter anymore? I don't go on any of this shit. Because I come back just to shame you all. When I go on Twitter, it's shame time. When I come on here, it's fuck you. When I go on Instagram Live, it's ew, I don't like this shit anymore because y'all suck. And this isn't my miserable era. This is my fucking liberated era. And you can suck my from the back, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Doja Cat thinks her fans need her, when in fact, Doja needs them. On the road to Scarlet, the rapper's fourth studio album, Doja Cat disassociated herself from her last two albums, Hot Pink and Planet Her, calling them cash grabs and mediocre pop, which caused outrage by fans. Some thought it's lame that Doja dismissed her albums because those albums helped her gain the audience she has today. Some also sees it as Doja being disrespectful to her fans who bought and enjoyed those albums. Now I see where those fans are coming from, but I also understand where Doja Cat is coming from as well, because she is the one that made those albums and her opinion on her own work should be respected as well. I know it might be hard to swallow, but for me I see it as her being honest. Typically, Doja Cat follows a traditional album rollout, one that's standard for major artists. Interviews, social media campaigns, live performances, everything being centered around the album. But with Scarlet, which is also an intro to Doja's alter ego of the same name, Scarlet was overshadowed by her antics on social media, making Scarlet her messiest album rollout to date. In this video, I'll cover the messy rollout of Doja Cat's album Scarlet, more specifically the image for this era, her selling her soul, and how Doja Cat is no different from Beyoncé and Rihanna. Doja Cat is a professional troll on the internet, and this is one of her selling points as many find her entertaining. In her song Moo, released in 2018, she was just being a troll, but it ended up being the catalyst to set her apart from her competition, going viral and getting everyone's attention.
Allegedly, cows are farting right now, and they are ruining the ozone.
You see, Doja is an internet baby, born Amalaratna Zandili Lamini. In 1995, Los Angeles, California, the artist would skip school to join chat rooms online. She eventually dropped out in the 11th grade to pursue music. At age 11, Amala signed with Kimosabi Records, an imprint of RCA Records. Prior to the release of Moo, her debut studio album, Amala, released in 2018, was a flop initially, but it ended up going gold in the US. Her follow-ups Hot Pink and Planet Her are the albums that made Doja Cat a household name worldwide. So yeah, Doja Cat became more than a meme and was taken seriously by her peers and the general public. By the time Planet Her came around, she was even given the premature icon status, as she had carved out a lane for herself in this oversaturated music game, which is very impressive. Leading up to the release of Scarlet, the artist has reinvented her image of a friendly neighborhood pop star / girl next door image to one of a edgy rock star. An artist like Doja Cat relies heavily on her outer appearance, like any other major artist. In Doja's case, her image is one where Doja's aesthetic had to please the public's eye in a traditional beauty standard way, marketed to the male fantasy. Doja Cat is aware of all of this, and she wanted to dismantle that and take control of her image in her own way. But let's be real, she's still selling sex with her new image, whether that's her goal or not. In 2022, Doja Cat shocked her fans on Instagram Live when she shaved her head and eyebrows. Now, reinvention in music is nothing new, and I get it, maybe Doja Cat is an extreme example of reinventing yourself in the mainstream today, which is kind of crazy, but we've seen it before with Madonna, Rihanna, and Miley Cyrus. And in more recent times, The Weeknd and Melanie Martinez. Popular artists continued to reinvent themselves with each album to stay relevant, but people felt like this is what Doja will be forever, and I doubt that. I could be wrong, but I mainly feel like this is just the wave Doja is on now, and she will change again for the next release. Okay, boom. Doja Cat shaved her head, and people were crazy, calling her ugly and saying she wasn't hot anymore. And then even a bigger boom when Doja started posting these images on her Instagram. Doja Cat captioning one of the posts saying, "Your fare is not my problem." And it lit her Instagram on fire in the comments. A lot of people were screaming Jesus, like the image has anything to do with Satan, when in reality, the images are basically images from an Italian physician and philosopher of the 1600s named Fortunio Licidi, and I know I just butchered that. And he liked making these deformed beings. Doja did insert this in the post as well, along with meaning, basically explaining that she sees no deformities and she's accepting her flaws, or that's what I got out of the post. But people don't read anymore, so most came with the conclusion that it's evil when it's just weird looking, and the fact that she got one of the images tattooed on her along with a bat skeleton on her back and the classic skull with horns on her arm, people were like, okay, we lost Doja. To visually represent her alter ego, Scarlet, Doja Cat painted her body red, she had wavy, wet hair, and wore red contacts. In the August issue of Harper's Bazaar, Doja Cat was questioned about the public's reaction to her new look, i.e. her shaving her hair off, which Doja Cat replied, "My theory is that if someone has never met me in real life, then subconsciously I'm not real to them. So when people become engaged with someone they don't know on the internet, they kind of take ownership of that person. They think that person belongs to them in some sense, and when that person changes drastically, there is a shock response that is almost uncontrollable. I've accepted that's what happens. So I put my wigs on and then take them off. I shave my head or my eyebrows. I have all the freedom in the world." Doja Cat's interactions with fans and trolls on the internet would get spicier, causing her to lose over 500,000 followers on Instagram, mostly stemming from her telling her fans to delete their fan pages because she didn't like the name Kittens, which is what her fans call themselves on the internet. One fan replied to Doja on Twitter ripoff app Threads saying, "What should I change my name to since you don't like the term kitten?" To which Doja replied, "Just delete the entire account and rethink everything. It's never too late." Like, what? Doja went on to say, "My fans don't name themselves shit. If you call yourself a kitten or fucking kittens, that means you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents with the house." After that, fan pages started to delete themselves. Doja Kitty Cat started to get backlash from her fans again, but this time because her alleged man is an alleged ex-predator. People wanted her to redress these claims, and Doja Cat started blocking them, which caused her to get even more backlash. Now, I see this as Doja Cat did what she thought she needed to do to protect herself, and also she doesn't have to respond. One, the claim doesn't involve her, and we don't even know if he is really her boyfriend. If he is her boyfriend for real, you really think she would respond in the way y'all wanted? She did respond by saying she doesn't give a fuck, said good riddance, and called them miserable hoes. Doja Cat is no different from Beyoncé and Rihanna, and I'm going to tell y'all what I mean when I say this. Now, if you weren't born yesterday, you know about the Illuminati era from 2009 to the mid-2010s maybe. Some of the artists that made this era was Beyoncé, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Kanye West, Jay-Z, and many others. I don't want to go too deep because this is not a conspiracy video about who did this or what. Now, if you remember, Beyoncé and Rihanna were the main ones getting called devil worshippers at the time. Rihanna went deep into the dark imagery with her Rated R album, and even today people still questions Beyoncé affiliation, saying whether she's in the Illuminati or a Satanist. Her alleged dabbling in alleged devilish imagery like her alter ego, Sasha Fierce, and even the costume Beyoncé wore on stage was seen as evil. I don't see a difference with what Doja Cat is doing from what they did. One big difference is that Doja Cat has addressed it a lot more. Rihanna did address it once sarcastically in a radio interview back in the day, maybe 2009, saying she is a devil worshiper, but she was just being sarcastic. She was just playing around. But you judge it for yourself.
You know, I am misunderstood a lot at times. My music, my image, people have their whole thing about me, whether it be me being a devil worshiper or whatever. Besides them reading into my hand over my eye on my album cover.
Why is your hand over your eye on your album?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
Anyway, Impressive Channel here on YouTube, in one of her videos, she said she's not rocking with Doja Cat because she has sold her soul. Now, I think Impressive makes great content, but she loves and always uplifts Beyoncé and Rihanna, so it's just hypocritical to me that she's canceling Doja Cat, but not B and Rhi. Like, what's the difference? I don't see the difference. And I don't think any of them sold their soul, but I don't see the difference in terms of imagery. Like, I don't get it. Will Impressive switch her tone if Doja Cat changes to a angelic image for the next album? It just seems really selective to me, and her just jumping on a bandwagon, because if you hate Doja Cat right now, no one's going to call you out because it's the popular thing to do now. Just like actors who put themselves in certain situations in film for the purpose of art, I think singers can do the same. To me, it's art and storytelling. Now, back to the rollout. Aftermath, sightings, Billboard 200. Doja Cat released a number of singles and visuals to drive traffic on social media and hype for Scarlet, Attention, Paint the Town Red, Demons, Blue, and Agora Hills, my favorite on the album. With Paint the Town Red and Demons, Doja Cat lead with more demonic imagery. Paint the Town Red went number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, while Agora Hills debuted number 18 on the same chart. Meanwhile, several wax figures of the Scarlet character began appearing in public locations such as a subway station and Tompkins Square Park in New York, and both the Wrigley Field and Riverwalk in Chicago. Doja Cat also hosted pop-up events in which she was filming fans and posting it on her Instagram stories. She also made like paintings and say hi to her fans. It was kind of cool, not gonna lie. Now, after all of the trolling, gimmicks, and temper tantrums, Scarlet debuted number 4 on the Billboard 200, selling 72K album equivalent units, which is still good for Doja Cat, in my opinion, but we have people on the internet calling the album a flop. Cash Grab Hot Pink debuted with less than 100,000 first week, and the mediocre pop album Planet Her did over 109,000 copies its first week. And we are not going to go into Amala's first week sales as it missed the US Billboard 200 initially, so this tells me Doja is not an album kind of artist, or her albums do better over time. And I don't want to defend Doja's album sales because I don't care about it, but I do understand why some people thought it would have done more because My Boy was trending since 2022. And her previous album, Planet Her, broke the mold for her debuting with over 100,000 copies. But her doing 72K first week with Scarlet is not that surprising to me, as the controversies and conversations surrounding Doja Cat was all about her hating her fans, her dating a predator allegedly, and her being a devil worshiper allegedly. Nothing about her music really. Yeah, Paint the Town Red did win #1, but it wasn't surprising either because Paint the Town Red is an undeniable bop. What I'm getting to is controversies only sell your music when the controversies is about the music. Look at Megan Thee Stallion's last album, Dramazine. That did 63K first week, and to me, Megan's controversies with Tory Lanez was an even bigger scandal than Doja's Dilemma. And it didn't do what it should have done because the Rollout was overshadowed by that case. Not all controversy is good controversy, and when artists feed their controversies by going back and forth on Twitter or X, trying to control their narrative, it never works. Only the art can control the narrative when you're trying to release an album, and I wish Doja Cat would just do her image change and not address it at all, only in the music, drop her Demons music, drop the album, and let the focus stay on the music, because her going off on her fans and trolls made her look really arrogant. And although I think she had a point and spoke nothing but facts, her delivery was extremely awful. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of her fans that exited on her ass knew she wasn't talking about them, but her delivery turned off them still. And people on the internet today just come on here waiting for someone to cancel. That's Doja's biggest downfall with this rollout. I don't in the slightest feel bad for Doja Cat because in the end, she'll be aight. Deep down, I think she planned this to weed out her fan base just for shits and giggles. She's that weird. And despite that, with this era, Doja Cat low-key, high-key made a point about how stupid stan culture is and celebrity culture.